Good evening and welcome to the City of Opa-locka Special Commission meeting. It is Wednesday, October 5th, can't see that, 5:43 p.m. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Bass?
Here.
Commissioner Davis?
Here.
Commissioner Dominguez?
Here.
Mayor Williams?
I am here. Please stand for the invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Father, we thank you for this is truly a day that you have made. We thank you, Lord God, for your love, your kindness, your protection. Father God, may you continue to guide us. May you continue, oh God, to let your love shine through us. In Jesus' name, amen.
We want to thank you all for joining us. We know that we pushed our commission meeting for the next week, which is tonight. We also want to send many prayers to the victims of Hurricane Ian up in North Florida. At this time, Madam Clerk, if you can read into record for public input.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Good evening. City of Opa-locka Commission meetings are held in person at Shabandi Village Auditorium, 215 Purvis Avenue, Opa-locka, Florida. Members of the public wishing to address the commission may do so in person or virtually. Those persons wishing to participate virtually should register prior to the scheduled meeting time on the city's website at www.opalockafl.gov. When speaking before the city commission, please make sure to give your full name and address for the record. There is a 3-minute time limit for public comments. Please adhere to the decorum policy, which is part of the commission meeting agenda. City commission meetings are aired through live stream at www.youtube.com/user/City of Opa-locka. And at this time, we have no virtual public participant.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Public input is open.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Cooper, 15060 Northwest 22nd Avenue. I have a comment regarding agenda item number 3. About 3 years ago, I came up here and spoke. At the time, it was City Attorney Vincent Davis, and he was in a bad place with the city. And I said, I thought there was a conflict of interest and he should step down. Other people also said the same thing, but by coincidence, Commissioner Kelly, who's here, I didn't know he was going to be here, called me a couple of weeks later and he said, do you want to be on a board that's going to vet the new city attorneys that are going to be chosen? It was an honor. I did it. And the idea behind choosing the present city attorney was that it was a small firm and the city of Opa-locka was its biggest client and we'd get good service. Now on August 29th, I put out some papers for you guys. I sent an email to the attorney about a hearing that was going to happen the next day, a motion. The next day, the 30th of August, no city attorney was present at the code enforcement hearing. The code, our city code, I passed it out, says that there should be a city attorney or representative of the city attorney, or at the last step, a city staff member. The hearing was a mess. I'm not going to talk about the hearing because it's in litigation, but a city attorney should have been there when they were served with a motion. That's number one. Number two, about 4 months ago, I was here and I stood up against a garbage dump that was being proposed. Commissioner Davis asked the city attorney, what is our legal liability if we vote no? The city attorney said, well, in America, anyone can get sued. And when Commissioner Davis said, I'm asking a serious question, she said, I haven't really done the research. If you reset the hearing, I'll come back with a better answer. The city commission decided not to reset it and they voted 3-2 against it. I don't mind being on the losing side, but it's the second time that I've noticed the city isn't really receiving the services that I was presented back 3 years ago. So just now that I see this is on the agenda, I thought I should chime in. I don't come often, but twice now I've seen less than stellar performance. Thank you.
Public input is open.
Hi, good evening. My name is Sheila Pruitt, 2350 Northwest 141 Street. I just have two or three concerns. It's been a while since I've been to the commission meeting, but I have since observed some things that troubled me. Not with you all, but what's going on in the neighborhood. Lately, we have had young people, homeless people that are scouring the neighborhood for vacant homes, and they're picking up residents there. And they're bringing a convoy of people. And it's across from Nathan Beyond School. And they've trashed the place. That home, the former resident, I'll assume, because I haven't heard anything different. Her family probably put her in the nursing home, Miss McGregor, and she worked hard for that house and she kept that yard immaculate. And just to see her things thrown out and all those people, it looks horrible. And I've sat there talking to someone else in my car and I witnessed them selling drugs. And this is the crosswalk from the school. Now, several polices have come, but nothing has been done. And they have came again, and then they stay on the opposite side next to the school watching, but nothing has been done. And I'm a taxpayer, and I got a problem with that. You know, coming up now, I got to pay taxes, and it's going up. It's not decreasing. And I expect more from this city to be able to do something. I mean, we have people should be in place to be able to get this resolved, because I consider the city my house, a part of my house, and I feel disrespected right now. Because I'm paying taxes and you all expect me to pay my taxes on time. So I expect the city officials to be able to do what they need to do to get that taken care of. And I even see them across on the other side. One of the other neighbors moved out across the canal, and they have come in just boldly as anything because they realize nobody's going to do anything. And that's disrespectful. And then also too, I have another issue, and this has been going on, but I was hoping that it changed. Well, I assume that we receive money for the city. We get money, you know, in this old line, we don't have any, we get money. Money is being allocated. But we need to take care of our people, our essential workers. The city workers, they need to be taken care of properly, because I've witnessed 2 truckloads come to change one basket in the park area, and it's trash all around, but not one person picked it up. Now, if I can get out and encourage my neighbors to keep the canal bank clean in front of our homes, and we enjoy doing it because I'm a person, anybody that knows me, I suffer with a little bit of OCD, and I like things clean around me. And if I'm paying, I want my house clean. And that means I want my city clean. It's just ridiculous. We need to take care of our essential workers and pay them properly. And so that way, if the children and their parents see that we're serious about keeping the city of Opa-locka in a respectful manner, then that's gonna encourage them to do better too. But if they're not doing anything and they're not being paid properly, they don't feel like they value, I can't blame them. But my taxes paying for that. I'm looking at what I receive. I'm paying for a lot of stuff that's not being taken care of. And we need to do better, and we need to come up with an action plan to get this resolved as quickly as possible. Because we have a lot of people running for office, and they promise this and that. Yeah, some are met and some are not. But we get in those seats, and then what was promised pushed aside, and we come up with something different. But if Miami Gardens and North Miami and everybody else can do their due diligence, then we need to do the same. And I'll stop allowing these people to trash and bring and dump their stuff into our house. That's my house, part of my house too. And I'm getting very upset about it, but I've stayed and stepped away and kept quiet, but I can't keep quiet any longer. Because my taxes are going up and I'm paying for all of that. So I need somebody to come up with an action plan. If you need ideas or whatever, I got nothing but time. Nothing but time. And half of you already know me. I've been in Opa-locka for 50 years, 50 plus. Okay, I'm that old. So I know what's going on. I've seen a lot of people come and go. So please, let's do what we need to do. Because if not, if I have to come back, I'm not going to be that nice. And I don't mind putting people in check, trust me. Because people expect things from me, and I try to do my best to come through and do what's right. And I expect you all to do what's right also. We put you out there, do what you need to do for the citizens of Opa-locka. And the citizens need to do better by teaching their children to respect where they live. And I've told a lot of them that too. So I don't bite my tongue. I'm done.
Thank you so much. Public input is open. Public input is closed. At this time, we have a presentation from Markham Llp Representative. You can come now to approach the podium.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, members of the City Commission. My name is Moises Ariza. I'm with the firm of Markham Llp for the record, and we serve as your external financial auditor. We're working on the fiscal year September 30th, 2020 audit, and I'm here to present the fact that we received an updated draft of the financials on September 30th. So at the moment, it has been submitted to our quality control department, and we're very optimistic to the fact that we should be able to come to a conclusion with the audit by the end of the month of October. Throughout the process, we've had some delays given the fact of certain changes with city manager's office, but I could tell you at the moment, working closely with the city manager, Darvin Williams, and the finance director, Ms. Nima Walker, and Jerry Lazar from the finance department, they're helping us in every way possible to bring the audit to a close. So I'm hopeful that you will see me again in the month of November presenting a final document for the fiscal year 2020, and soon thereafter commencing the 2021 audit. I'll open it up to any questions you may have.
Are there any questions by the commission? Where I guess my question where I'm is why haven't we completed the audit? What is, I heard you earlier say something about the city managers, I guess previous, but what's happening while we can't? I mean, we commissioned under Ms. Lazier, Markham, as and also with
Sure.
Yeah, maybe you can
Okay.
answer that question.
So I'll
for
give
me.
you some history. So we were engaged earlier in the year, and we started off with auditing the city's records, but there was a new Florida statute that came about for fiscal year 2020. And that requirement of that Florida statute required you to have a separate financial statement audit of the Community Redevelopment Agency for the first time. So not only were you going into the change of auditors, but you were also dealing with meeting the new Florida statutes, Chapter 163, and issuing for the first time a standalone audit. Would you say that the CRA was audited in the past? Yes, it was audited in the past as an aggregate non-major fund for the city's financial statements. So for the first time, the city and the CRA had to take the time and effort to prepare for a standalone audit of the CRA. The CRA financial statements were completed and issued and presented to the CRA board. So that came to a close. That was one part of the item. The second part of the item is when we commenced the audit for 2020, we started to do opening balance procedures. Our professional standards require us to do opening balance procedures. In essence, you have to make sure that your beginning balances are correct and accurate. So when we started that process, we came to the recommendation and recommended the city make some changes to the 2019 financial statements. So that also took some time and effort from the city's department. What I could tell you is, as of today, giving those setbacks or focusing the time, I could tell you that in my professional judgment, there's nobody at the city's finance department, the city manager's office, that is not helpful to us. Whatever we need and the documents that we need, they've been forthcoming in providing the information. It is a lot of information. There's a lot of requirements that are necessary. And given the fact that there was some delays with having to focus on the CRA audit and meeting the statutory requirements, and then focusing on making revisions to the opening balances, we're going as fast as we can. In our proposal, inside our proposal, that's also included as an attachment to the contract between the city of Opa-locka and Markham, we make reference to the fact that once we receive all the documents to commence or complete the audit, it takes about 90 days to come to a conclusion or a finish line for the audit report. I could tell you we're in the tail end. We received the last draft of the financial statements last Friday, September 30th. Correct, September 30th. We also received the corrective action plan that was necessary. And at the moment, the financial statements and audit reports are going through a quality control process. At the firm, not only do I take responsibility for the audit report as a partner, but we also submit it to a quality control partner for their review and having that second set of eyes. Our goal is to make sure that when we present the financial statements and our audit report, the information is complete and accurate, and that you can make decisions based on these numbers. So we're definitely are not trying to rush it. We want to make sure the product is correct as is, and that it meets the professional audit standards and the expectation of the product that we are to issue to the city of Opa-locka.
So thank you for that. And I know we haven't gotten to the resolution yet, but I know one of the items is asking for us to pay additional funds.
Yes.
And I think where what gives me pause is Tri-Merge has told us several months, several years that the audit will be done by this time, this date, this time. And it has yet to happen. As a matter of fact, at one point, the owner of Tri-Merge blamed even the hold up on the audit to the city attorney, right there on the dais where you're standing. And now Tri-Merge is actually now leaving the city, interesting, without a complete audit. So where I'm confused is now we're still not done. We're still asking the state over repeatedly for extensions. And now we have to because of an incomplete audit from a company, quite frankly, we have given hundreds of thousands of dollars to Tri-Merge. And now we're asking you, Markham, who was now a consultant from Tri-Merge to come in to help us complete this audit, to now give more money.
I don't have, Markham does not have any affiliation with
I know
Tri-Merge.
you don't. I'm just merely saying that it gives me pause because we keep hearing the audit. I appreciate Ms. Walker, did I say that right? Coming up at the last budget hearing, giving us a specific date, a specific date of when her and her team will complete the audit. And I do appreciate that. I'm gonna put that on record, that we finally have a date. And I believe that her and her team, not some person that company that we've given hundreds of $1,000s to, will finally complete the audit so that we can move out of financial emergency. So that's where I am, and I wanted to put that on record because, again, it gives me pause, I'm troubled, and quite frankly, I'm upset about the amount of money that we've spent over the years to this company. So I'm done.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Commissioner Dominguez.
I am 100% with you. I have exactly the same information that you just spoke about, where in the special commission meeting that was held November 21st, when we accepted the RFP from Markham Llp,
Mhm.
and Jerry Lazare stated that the 2020 audit would be completed by February or March 2022. Now, we know that never happened, and I brought this up in a previous commissioners meeting. Both audits would have been completed, both audits, this is what was stated, would have been completed by June 30th, 2022. Okay, that never happened. And just like he stated, these audits take 12 weeks. Now, the next due date was September 30th, 2022. Now we're saying we don't have it. Now I just want to bring up history. From 2015 to 2019, all audits were done, if I'm not mistaken, by Mr. Bronson. I can understand that 2015, 2018, we had challenges obtaining records and even building records to complete those audits. However, 2019, 2020, 2021, we should not have those issues or challenges, okay? And I know that all three city managers have tried. Their goal has always been to get this audit complete so we can get out of financial oversight. However, someone here needs to be accountable. And I don't see anybody saying anything. And us as legislators, you know, we try to move everything forward because we want to get out of oversight. And we need to have this accountability because we just can't say, oh yeah, let's pay, but who's holding these companies that are coming here, these firms here accountable for keeping their word and that is written on their RFP, their contract? Yet I don't see anybody saying anything. So I just want to know what % of this audit has been done. I even asked for a report. I think it was July. Never did I get the report, or I even asked for all the commissioners to get an update, at least give us something.
Okay.
We're 20%, we're 80%, we're 90% done. We haven't gotten anything. All we're getting is, oh, we want to do another, we need to pay them additional fees so they can continue. Why are we doing this?
Okay. A valid question. So if you go back to the RFP that was issued, I've explained it before to when I've met with the city managers. I think the city was overly optimistic with the commitment that it made in the RFP. In the RFP, it stated that the city was immediately ready to commence 2 audits and to complete them, like you mentioned, by June 15th, 2022. It said that the trial balances were going to be ready and that we're going to prepare the financial statements XYZ. We went ahead through the RFP process, and if you look at addendums issued 1 and 2, we asked those questions to make sure that they were clarified. So Markham submitted questions to double check and verify to ensure that we properly understood the city's RFP. Those addendums were issued and the city confirmed through addendums 1 and 2 that they were going to be ready to start immediately and that the city was going to prepare these documents. Again, as we started the audit, the first thing we do is we're auditing in 2020. We come about and we start testing the beginning balances for 2019. We found an error with the issued 2019 report. So we came to the city and we requested the city reissue its 2019 financial statements. So that required significant time and effort. That reissued statement was reissued on June 23rd, 2022. During this process, through the day of today, we have issued 4 status letters, giving you a status report of the audit and sharing it with the manager's office. But again, it is an essence that I want to repeat. You, in 2020, not only are you going through an audit, but you have multiple factors here. You're changing audit firms. When you have a change in audit firm, there's new audit procedures and that new understanding of the process. In addition to that, you have to issue and comply with the CRA Florida statute. So the city was focused on issuing the standalone CRA financial statements. I cannot speak on behalf of the finance department and what was their focus or not their focus. What I could tell you is that as of today, we're almost at the finish line. We have submitted the financial statement draft to our quality control department. And I stand behind the fact that it is our full intention to issue it with an October 2022 date.
My question is, if you haven't completed the 2020 audit, why you're requesting an additional
Okay, so
$9,200?
So when we submitted our all-inclusive fee, we did it based on the facts and commitments that the city did on the RFP. Those facts and commitments, for example, the documents being available, being able to do both audits during a period that we were going to be efficient and proactive to be able to gain some efficiencies and give you that price. That being said, in our contract, it says that the city is to comply with the requirements and statements that were issued in the RFP written by the city of Opa-locka. To this day, we bring to your attention that we do need additional time just due to the delays of some of the facts that were not executed by the city based on the RFP. That's why we ask you for your approval for these additional time and effort that we're doing in order to complete the audit.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Commissioner Bass.
I was just waiting to hear him answer Commissioner Dominguez's question. She was asking for a percentage of completion. I just want to hear what that was.
I would say between 85 and 90%. The fact that we're in quality control, we're almost done with the process. This is the 5th draft that was presented to us by the city, and it's in a good shape. It has addressed the comments that we had in the previous versions, our feedback. We have started in the review process, but it's not only up to just my approval. We do have a quality control. These financial statements go to all the federal agencies that give funding to the city, all the state agencies, Miami-Dade County and the Florida Auditor General, and the Financial Emergency Board. We're going to make sure that the information is complete and accurate.
Madam Mayor, one more question.
Yes.
So you're telling us that you do have at this point what you need from the city?
Yes.
Everything?
We received that information on September 30th.
Okay.
September
By
30th.
who?
When we send emails and communications, we collaborate with Mr. Darvin, Ms. Nima Walker, Jerry Lazar, and some other finance personnel. So it's not just one person. We collaborate as a team in email communication.
So, but Ms. Walker, who just got here, I'm understanding has been emailing you and providing those documents, and now we're up to date.
Since Ms. Walker has been here, she has been very helpful through the process and has always been willing to help us and address any open items that we have for the audit. So it hasn't been of an issue.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I think we're done. You can have a seat.
Okay, I also want to mention, if any questions arise after today's meeting, the city does have my contact information. I don't mind meeting with the city manager's office again, or with any elected official. Our goal is to be transparent and on both ends to keep us accountable to what we promise. We promise the city of Opa-locka that once we receive all the items, it takes us about 90 days to complete an audit, and we stand behind that commitment. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Attorney?
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing the city manager to issue an additional payment of $9,200 to Markham LLP for additional supplemental work related to completing the September 30th, 2022 audit, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by the city manager.
Thank you. Mr. Manager, can you please introduce the item 7-1?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Yes, this resolution is a request from the city manager's office that we provide additional payment to Markham for the additional services that they have provided in helping our department and helping the city complete our 2020 audit. We are pushing toward that deadline that we discussed, and we're hoping to meet that deadline to complete the 2020 audit and commence services on the 2021 audit, and request that the commission pass this item.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to move and discuss agenda item 7-1?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Davis,
Second.
second by Commissioner Bass. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Davis,
Yes.
Commissioner Dominguez,
I'm voting yes, but with reservation.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Mayor Williams,
Yes,
motion passes.
thank you, Madam Clerk. I'm sorry, Madam Attorney.
A resolution, an emergency resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, authorizing the execution of an agreement with Anthony Brunson, PA, for certified accounting services as set forth in Exhibit A hereto, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by the city manager.
Mr. Manager, can you please introduce the item?
Yes, Madam Mayor. So this item is to bring a company that's very familiar with the city, Anthony Brunson, in formerly who provided us with external audit services, who are now going to provide us with internal audit services. As the commission is aware, Tri-Merge had submitted their letter of resignation some time ago. Upon wrapping up the 2020 audit, we expect Tri-Merge to no longer be affiliated with the city. And we're going to continue to need an internal audit team that can pick up where Tri-Merge has left off so that we can move forward with the 2021 audit. This is a plan that I presented to the commission some time ago. This is an emergency item as we are going to, as you all are aware, we're already behind in our audit and audit submissions to the state. And I request that the commission move this item forward.
And Madam Mayor, if I can just make one correction for the record, this is for services, not internal auditing services, but accounting services. And I just want to be clear, only because Florida statutes requires certain benchmarks to be put in place if there are auditing services. And so these are not auditing services. Thank
Okay,
you.
the resolution says accounting.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That's what they are.
Okay. Can I have a motion to move and discuss the item?
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Bass,
Second.
second by Commissioner Davis. Any questions, discussion? I see Mr. Brunson is here, if we have any. I do want to say, and you don't even have to stand. I know when I first got on the commission, we brought your services here. And for whatever reason, we didn't see you anymore. So I'm glad to know that we are able to bring you back because you did such great work here when it came to those accounting services. And then, again, working with the staff that we have now, and hopefully we can move out that weight that was here before, that we can actually get something done and we can move our city forward the way it needs to be, and not some, people just here to be here. Madam Clerk, roll call.
Commissioner Dominguez,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis. Oh, I'm sorry. Vice Mayor. Mayor Williams,
Yes,
motion passes 3-0.
Madam Clerk?
A resolution of the City Commission of the City of Opa-locka, Florida, approving submitted legal invoices from Bernadette Norris Weeks, PA, providing for incorporation of recitals, providing for an effective date. This is sponsored by the city attorney.
Okay. Madam Attorney?
Yes, Madam Mayor, these, you may recall before the break, we had before you some legal invoices representing the fiscal year 2021 completion. These are the invoices. We do have all of the invoices completed up to July, but we're presenting tonight for your review and consideration the ones that would end so that there's clarity in terms of when that these are for the fiscal year 2021 before the audit starts, which I promise. And you have those in front of you. I have invited, as you all know, each one of you to meet with me regarding the bills, if you chose to do that. And they are again in front of you for your consideration tonight. They are detailed, and if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Any discussion?
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Commissioner Bass.
just for a little bit of clarification, it says to submit legal invoices. But it doesn't have a dollar amount. We're just voting on the invoices, correct?
You have something that says submitted invoices in front of you, and so the resolution is to approving submitted legal invoices. Those are the legal invoices that are submitted.
Thank you.
Was that your question? Commissioner Bass?
Yeah, that's it. Thanks.
Okay.
Madam Mayor,
Yes, Commissioner Davis.
thank you. I would just like to state for the record, I do not feel comfortable in approving these legal expenditures. I spoke on this matter the first time it was presented, in which I also voted no on. And that's for several reasons. More importantly, I just didn't have the opportunity to I guess examine it or look at these invoices from a day-to-day kind of perspective. And I know previously, this was something that the manager ultimately was tasked with doing in the past, and we even passed resolutions to that effect. So, not saying I know it's of a fiscal emergency, to close out the fiscal year and ensure, sufficiency. But I just don't feel comfortable with approving it, given the prior process that was in place and the oversight that would be needed to accurately ensure that, these invoices are accurate and sound. So I just wanted to put that on the record, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
And Madam Mayor, just for the record, you still need a motion and a second.
Yes,
for
I
this.
know.
Move it.
Moved by Commissioner Dominguez,
Second.
second, okay. Anyone else? Discussion? Okay, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Bass.
Yes.
Commissioner Davis,
No.
Commissioner Dominguez,
Yes.
Mayor Williams,
Yes.
motion passes 4-1.
Can I have a motion to adjourn the special commission meeting? It's been moved
Second.
and second. Thank you all so much. Please stick around.